Peace, family. So I'm back with another one. Today what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to my chosen ones about being mindful of this new spiritual age trap. You know, this new spiritualism. There isn't really a such thing as a new spiritualism. We have the same spiritual system. You're just becoming aware of it. So like, I was just diving in, just doing some meditating, right? And then I heard somebody make a statement prior to me going into meditating, and I was just thinking on the subject. And I was just thinking, like, if you honestly think about and process how you change, how you grow, how you acknowledge what's actually going on within you, most of us become aware, and we almost kind of do our best work around other beings. That's because we're all humans and we're supposed to connect. So it's kind of like when people say that they're doing some self-healing and deep diving and shadow work and all these things, and you know, it like the new age spiritualism will make you feel as if you have to go disappear from everyone on this planet, go make some great gift, package it up really pretty, and then come back to the people that you knew or the new beings in your life and present the new package to them. When you look at the facts, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? And if you actually process like how most of the teachings are with this new spiritualism thing, it's like most of it is with the agenda. You know, I want you isolated. Go into your own corner. You must do this alone. You know, you will be by yourself. You know, you must isolate. Like all of these creepy ass words to kind of make you feel as if like, damn, I'm the only one out of a billion gazillion people that's like in this space right now, even though we know that's not the case, you know. But a lot of these things, like, you will notice more things about you that you want to work on around other beings, opposed from you being in your own space and only being in the energy that you want to be in outside of the shit you intake from the technologies around from you. You know what I mean? And there, in my belief system, like just following the natural flow of things, like there is no new spiritualism and spiritual age system. It's the same spiritual system. You know what I mean? It's just we got lost in the sauce with all this witchcraft and this magic and shit. So then now that we becoming aware that we are this voice, you know what I mean? Anytime you even thinking about your voice, saying something without using your throat chakra, your voice has always been the same. You know what I mean? Even when you was young, it was talking to you the same way you was talking out loud. Now you got a different tone and it's talking to you. That's you. You are that being. You know what I mean? So I remember when I was little, I used to try to move like my toes or my fingers and shit, like without me telling me to do it. And it was impossible. There was no way that I was moving my toe without me telling it to move. Not happening. So that's when you also have to be mindful about some of these spells out here casted where people say, think before you speak. Everything starts inward, outward. So that's a spell in itself. You trying to say that I wasn't thinking about what I was doing before I did it. Most of the time, all of us are thinking about what we do before we do it. Now, whether you are being possessed and something is controlling you, that's completely different, and that is usually not a full 24 hours. That's usually like a temporary time span, you know what I'm saying? Some may jump in and control you for 5 minutes, 30 seconds, 10 minutes, you know what I'm saying? But it's not an all-day process. So that's what I be meaning when they say things like all this new spiritual age system shit that's going on out here, and you know, just people selling information, you know what I mean? So I know we all gotta earn a living, you know what I'm saying, and we all need a little bit of cheese, but the way I feel is like beat the big man for the bag. You know, beat the system for the bag. That's what you do. That's how I feel. And then the people around me, I let them live. I let them eat. And not saying like I let them because they're already doing it. But what I'm saying is I would add to that process for them. You know what I mean? Like, I would make things more beneficial, more helpful to them. So like, for instance, say like some big mainstream artist wanted a beat, I would charge him way more than somebody that I knew personally, or somebody that just reached out that's on a much lower scale. You know what I'm saying? So, and when you process it, in my world, it should be kind of like, if the tarot readers are a greater good of things, then their system should be set up to where they're charging big people, you know, for information, and the people that's regular people like us, they're not charging because they know that we all need this help and this information. So if you think about it, it's a selfish way to kind of give you power through a physical object. It's a way to give you power through a physical object. Because if you felt and you believed as strongly as you did, then you would be doing this right here without the physical objects. You know what I mean? You wouldn't really need that representation of it. And even the ones that's outside of those areas, you still have the other gurus who, you know, be mindful of people who just speak soft. You know, it's easy to emulate. If you think about it, a lot of beings in the Western world love movies, watching movies, TV shows, all of that shit. So, with everybody loving that shit, and then people growing up wanting to do it, seeing it, or kids, little people are engaging in that process, you have to understand that they're already taking on another persona. So if somebody do a gay scene in a movie, they be like, it wasn't me, it was LAMAR. Nah, that wasn't the character LAMAR. That was still you doing the physical action, and then they cast a spell on you and you believed it for them to make it feel so you can have somewhere else to press it on to in the spiritual realm. When all actuality, you know that's you committing those acts and you're doing those things. So it's kind of teaching us all how to use this magic and cast these spells, create these weird personas, you know what I mean? And also isolate ourselves in the process. That's why, if you think about it, a lot of us, even when we get out of unhealthy relationships, we bounce right back over to another ship, you know? Whether it's healthy or not, it just depends on, you know, where you was at, how long the transition and what's going on, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, it's like, we want that human connection. We want that interaction. We want that engagement. Like, we're human beings. That's what we live for. It's what we do. So even if we not fully ready, we still take on those trials and tribulations and give those chances to opportunities for the other beings and for ourselves, you know, because a lot of the times we're like, oh shit, well, I did all these things wrong, even though it was witchy, I can do it better this time, even though we may not all the way be in that space, you know what I'm saying? But we need people. We need people. We need each other. So don't get too caught up in the selfish aspect of it. We have to be selfless in a selfish society. You know what I'm saying? And I know that's one of the hardest things to hear and to intake, because majority of the motherfuckers around you is being selfish. You know what I mean? But when you look at the bigger picture, like, things are gonna be more lit. They're gonna be more brighter for you. You know, it's way more rewarding in the long haul. That's what people don't understand. It's kind of like, you can eat these 2 cookies now, or you can wait and get 4 packs of cookies later. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bullshit ass example. Doesn't have to be cookies, but it's, you get more the longer you wait. You know what I'm saying? So just be mindful of some of the things that you tapping into. Don't isolate yourself too much, because what's going to happen is you're going to drive yourself cuckoo crazy, and it's going to be easier to cast another spell on you for you to start beating yourself up even more. You know what I'm saying? Now you driving yourself into an even lower space, all because you was listening to this new shit and they telling you to isolate yourself and work on this and do this, bend over, touch your toes, touch your neck. You know what I'm saying? You still have to get out here and experience this life, you still have to get out here and engage with beings, you know what I mean? So, and the technology isn't bad. If you don't like engaging with people physically, then you have to open up your engagements to technology. This camera is not bad, it's how it's being used, you know what I mean? So I ain't want to run it up too long though. Tapping anything down below. Peace and love to the kings and queens.